The Zach Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Bengals have a new man calling the shots. Zach Taylor, the second youngest coach in the entire league, as they head to Seattle to take on the oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the games in progress. But first, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by are the guys in the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And Dalton to throw. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And this defense looking like they... So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They were successful last time finding the end zone. We drop you in now to first quarter action as the offense begins this drive. They begin with a run by Mixon. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Now Joe Mixon pushes him over. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Back to Mixon on first down. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go. Hands up.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Dalton. Finding Green complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Mixon. And an alley to run. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now Mixon. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 16-yard. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted. because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Now following the touchdown, here comes this offense back out onto the field as they will take over with a 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Go. We're good.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their... So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Again, it's Mixon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Green brings it in. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been totally beaten right from the word go.
It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do?
Williams loses the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he loses the football a second time. And they will take over at at the 29-yard line. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. This is Mixon on the draw. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, they run with Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just one conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come.
So for the Seahawks, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home